playing with engineers, it's like, you do the math.
Lemmy's gonna create a stone bowl. Lemmy's gonna create a stone bowl so we can put the stuff in it.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, okay.
And then we'll create a stone lid.
Sealing it in. How big's the bowl? How much of this stuff are you taking?
Fucking take all of it.
You be careful.
I don't know how much we need. What if this can really help a lot of people? It can bring a lot of people back.
Here, give me. Ukher's gonna give you some basic dimensions.
Well, you're the guy who can carry everything, so.
Well, sometimes everything's not everything. Shh, don't tell him.
Midwick's gonna try to figure out how to preserve this crap.
Okay, now that you're seeing the stuff, you wander over to it. You're like, you're pretty sure you could take some specimens, but you're not too sure how you're going to do like a great amount of it. Give me a knowledge or craft alchemy.
Yeah, give me a sec. 40 plus 2 master craftsman. Master craftsman. What is that from?
It's a gnome. Yeah, Ukher can Ukher can heavy load carry 1,400 tons of it for 20 minutes or so.
We're gonna plane shift.
Right, but you need the bowl.
Okay.
Is the problem the soup or is the problem the giant bowl?
How big's the bowl?
The bowl will be significant. I don't think anybody should touch the stuff, so why don't we use telekinesis to grab some chunks? So why don't you get, just grab a couple 1,000 pounds worth?
Yeah.
No need to be greedy.
Midwick, what is your craft alchemy?
Without any of the good bonuses, it's 41.
Give me a roll.
Plus my roll. 41. 20 plus 41. 47. What the fuck? 51. 51.
Okay. You know that the flashed freezed bits are probably no longer any good. Although refrigeration, you have this basic idea of like keeping it cool, will probably keep the blood good. They tend to not to flash freeze your blood when they're storing it for use for like transfusions and stuff.
All the frozen stuff is no good.
Lemmy told me to.
In time in a lab, you might be able to find like a serum that would help you like prolong and preserve it. But if you're trying to keep the life-giving essence to it, yeah, you want to keep it in a cool spot, not frozen.
Lemmy did it.
It was a suggestion.
Well, I followed.
There's still lots of it left. Just there's a skating rink on top of.
All right. Why don't you lift?
Middle of
Ukher's going to start throwing pebbles at the skating rink.
Yeah, you break it up.
Yeah.
You got centaurs riding up to you, going. They're riding away and cheering at you. Ukher's half paying attention to the situation
not really
at hand.
paying attention.
Yep. Flexing at all the centaurs that come running up to you and flex. It's almost like they're doing it because they want to show that they're brave, but they're only brave for so long, and they go riding back into their herd, their pride.
Okay.
Ukher's going to summon his ghost wolf.
Okay.
Drink it and throw it up.
Altagar and Azildan come sauntering over. Well, we got it. We came what we got. Do we get what we came for?
Not really.
Need to get hammer still. Ukher's going to be like sort of riding back and forth with the ghostly wolf.
You're riding amongst the. They're all cheering as you're doing this.
Okay, so.
When you know what traps are, ask.
So create. What do you call it? not stone wall, but what is it called?
How Midwick? How
Yeah.
much do you need to bring someone back to life?
Does Midwick know this answer?
You
tell you
don't
about
know
the
the ritual, so you don't know.
I have no idea what the ritual is. I can tell you how to keep it fresh.
It couldn't possibly be more than 200 pounds. 200 pounds worth you could make a whole Oberon out of that.
Sure, I don't know. Once you have it, I can keep it fresh, but
Well,
not this crap. This frozen crap's no good.
You mentioned previously.
Just get me a bunch. Just get me a bunch, and we gotta get to Dvergholme.
I can carry 300 or so pounds. But I need a container.
Handy haversack? Bags of holding? How much do they hold?
They also pop if you put too much in.
Bags of holding. How much do they hold? I don't have one.
They also pop if you put too much in.
Yeah, alright. Well, how much do...
You want me to carry some of this stuff? Says King Altagar.
Be very careful. It'll turn you into snakes.
Where are you, Donovan?
Why don't... Lemmy?
Yeah?
You're pretty crafty. Midwick, you're pretty crafty. Could we use some of this stone here to shape a ladle that we could attach to the end of King Altagar's glaive to scoop out some and pour into a container that you fabricate?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to... alright, that's...
All right, so using
I'm
this,
looking for the spell!
so using a wall of stone, you're able to create kind of a big bowl.
Oh, there's
It's
another one.
actually probably a wall of stone and then a stone shape.
Stone shape. Yes. Both
And
of
then
those.
I think another stone shape to make a ladle attachment for the end of the glaive.
Yep. Give me an int check for those that are doing the crafting.
So Lemmy's doing it, but Midwick is an engineer?
So he can assist.
Okay. +2. Okay.
We'd like my help. No?
Donovan can
I made
assist.
my own.
Please, if you're
Are you turning
familiar.
invisible, Donovan? Yeah. Oh, there you are. I was getting worried.
Come here, give me a hug.
You sent us.
yeah.
I just want to make sure you're not there. And he kind of pushes you back, like making
Yeah,
sure. That,
watch out. These
hey,
the
get
great-
out of here! He sends a bunch of centaurs running
Are
away.
you gonna aid Donovan?
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Donovan
Yeah,
leading?
Donovan will lead.
24. We got a good ladle.
Yeah.
Donovan needs.
Okay, so you're able to fashion this stone thing that could be reusable. It basically hooks over the business end of the glaive, and you start scooping out this material. Who is actually doing the scooping?
I think King Altagar is doing the scooping.
Okay.
King Altagar.
So this is kind of like dealing with a horrible poison.
All right.
So
Keep it careful, Altagar.
roll a d20. Don't roll a 1.
Careful, Altagar.
I will
Splashing
roll
me
it.
this stuff on himself.
Yay.
Okay, he doesn't roll a 1.
Oh,
He
frig
ends
away
up
from there,
scooping
guys.
out some of this stuff and putting it into the bowl. You've got approximately 200 pounds of it.
It's
You
good.
want
Seems like a
another-
good amount.
Do you want another bowl? Can make another one. Or you can just carry 2 of them.
He then slings it over his shoulder and it's kind of dripping down dangerously behind himself.
Would you
Get that off you!
What? All right.
cleanliness?
Yeah, he hands it to you and it's all dripping and wet.
You'll prestidigitate the goo. That's to push the goo back into the pit.
I don't know what this stuff does.
It turns you into a pile of snakes.
No, it
Not just
doesn't.
one, but a whole pile.
Nah. Ukher's going around for the 3rd time, riding with the centaurs. You can see that the centaurs are kind of moving respectfully away from 3 centaurs that are approaching. They have a cadre of warriors that are in back.
Oh, hey, guys.
You slew it, and it does not rise again.
Smash its head good.
Oops, sorry.
Ukher does have a tongues up, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
By Gesar's name, you are one of his people.
Yes. Ukher, not such. Hero of Aegis.
I am Tyrus Iron Mine. You have met Summer Moon and Skyhunter before. They're the ones that summoned the prides. We have warriors from many tribes, including the Red Sky, Iron Mine, and even a few Blackfoot or Blackhoof if you look close enough.
You have many strong warriors here.
We will drink and honor those that have fallen. 40 have tried to face the Ouroborous, alone and in groups.
It is a very mysterious foe.
Hi, Ukher, says Summer Moon, and Skyhunter waves hello as they go riding over.
Midwick's like, I'm the guy that killed it, damn it.
The pit is all full of its blood. Don't touch it, Summer Moon. You know the stories.
It'll turn you to snakes if you're not careful.
Lemmy's fashioning a lid, like a bigger lid to sit on top.
Okay.
Have you claimed the hammer yet?
Not yet. We have been
Been screwing around.
running
Go
with
get the frickin' hammer.
the tribes.
Hello
Our
there.
spells are
says
still
Altagar.
running.
You took down many of our warriors, but they are lucky to live. Their pride injured more so. Their bones will heal. Bruises? Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure if yeah, that's what I did.
He gives Altagar a nod. There are other warriors that are creeping up behind him, but he seems to be brave enough to approach all of you. He doesn't say anything to Azildan.
Ukher's going to quaff his endless bottle of spider climbing
Okay.
and is going to basically Spider-Man crawl.
Okay. There are splatters of the blood that are all along the side, because basically the big snake went in there and died and spray painted the blood all over the place. You could navigate carefully through it.
Yep. That's...
Do you want me to let it drain?
I need to go down there, though.
Well, we're gonna have to...
Ukher, you think maybe if you went to that side and kind of climbed all the way down, you could probably get to the top of the door by avoiding most of it.
He's gonna... He will... Actually, Ukher will airwalk to the door.
Yeah, there we go.
Fine.
We have airwalk, yeah, so...
Yeah, you could see the strange blood, little mixture of dead snakes and its big skull that you smashed in.
Yeah.
Ukher's gonna take a look at the door.
Okay.
Lemmy's going with him.
Wall of stone isn't dismissible, so there's a big wall of stone plugging the front of the door.
Stone shape, I think.
Ukher's going to stone shape it using the Ukher approach to stone shaping.
No. Cause it to splash.
No,
You'll
Dory.
cause it to splash.
No splash.
just let the spells do it. Let me back off.
Donovan is actually going to whip a disintegrate past Ukher.
There we go. Okay, the block of stone disappears.
Oh.
Then there's two stone doors.
Ukher will look for traps.
Okay. Aside from the natural trap that you guys created, doesn't appear to be any traps.
Okay. Ukher will carefully open the door.
Okay, give me a strength check, as there's definitely magic keeping the door shut.
Okay. Ukher's not gonna rage or anything at the door. He's just gonna push.
Okay, it is a Stone door. Give me a second.
$31. That breaks most doors.
Strong wooden door is 23. A iron door is 28. And you got a 31. Okay, so yeah. With
If it's meant to open, I don't know. If it's not meant to open, then let me know.
with a with an arcane lock, it would be DC 38 to break.
Mythic point that shit?
Ukher's going to give the door. His eyebrow goes up.
Yep.
And I will spend 1 round of rage, and I will use a strength check to open the door. This look of... You didn't open for me? Open sesame seed, 51.
Okay, yeah. 51 is how much you need to break through 3 feet thick hewn stone, and this door is made to open. So basically, Ukher puts his shoulder to it and busts through. There's one door that is completely off of its hinges. Oh, it's falling. It splashes. It splashes backwards in the water and sort of splashes out towards where the party is, not towards where Ukher is. And yeah, and all this stuff is now gurgling down the stairs. Kind of these rough, old hewn stairs leading down.
All these
They
people
don't
out there
make-
waiting to be rescued.
The door is not too strong.
The
They
stairs
should
are
make a better door.
the stairs are more like really wide, several like stride lengths before the next thing kind of cut.
Yep.
Like the stairs
Yeah.
could almost be used by a centaur. And
Okay.
this stuff is just washing down.
Ukher will... If it can be used by a centaur, then I can walk high and airwalk down.
Yep. It's pretty big. With your airwalk, you're able to keep off the ground from touching it. There
Okay.
are fresco paintings of Gesar along the sides of this sort of winding down to the left, and it's going kind of like curving down into the ground. They're telling a story.
Lemmy's following you.
Ukher will take his time
Cast-
going
The
down.
first
Cast light.
few are how great Gesar was born of gods. The next one shows the tale of how he tamed the first horse. Perhaps on this world or perhaps in Gesaria. He taught nomads, which might be the proto-Icunians, how to ride. This doesn't make sense, Ukher. Well, maybe it does, but it feels like they're suggesting that he's much older than he actually was, or maybe he's been around for a long time.
Maybe he was like us and he world hopped and he did his story from, like, he kept doing the same story over again to different places.
Right.
Maybe he was just fucking with people.
He
I made shit up.
he shot the first bow. That doesn't make sense. How did he teach people? Maybe he taught them archery, but there's definitely signs, like there's actually writing, and he shot the first bow. He then got into a battle with what Lemmy is looking at as some sort of unique elder elemental spirit, the elemental of earth. And there are these several panels devoted to this earth elemental being angry at these nomads who had taken to the horse and to the bow and was like attacking them from the ground, which may have described why they constantly were on the move. Like an army of elementals with this horrible elemental thing in the ground. Gesar, perhaps this was his first major enemy. This greater Mangus of the earth, who slew travelers with her iron weapon. It's definitely like a female figure. You know the little idol of like the really, really fat female that was used in the fertility god that was used in the 13th Warrior. The Mangus looks like that. And she seemed to be slaying things with a mole, an iron mole.
See, Lemmy.
Gesar tried to injure her.
Don't make Druid Lady angry.
With hammer, he tried to injure her with bow and blade, with arrow and blade, and nothing could be done. The next panel is of them wrestling for what appears to be 3 days and 3 nights.
Now, what's with people wrestling in this game?
And Gesar tore her in half.
Gesar know what he's doing.
He's wrestling.
Following the advice of some grandfather in the sky, Gesar bathed the hammer in the creature's blood.
Magic hammer.
And the hammer became then the hammer of Gesar.
Better magic hammer.
It shows that Gesar went on to do great things with the hammer. But it does show him talking to the great sky god as well, and receiving wisdom. For Gesar for a time ignored his people as he went off on adventures. Gesar, through some ceremony, left behind his youth and desire for adventure so that he may achieve the Emperor's throne. So that he may rule wisely, he left behind
Gesar's hardness is in hammer.
He left behind his goodness in his bow and his recklessness in his hammer.
Ooh, don't tell Azzy. Don't tell Azzy that part.
His hammer now layeth here, and you kind of reach the end, and it's just all this gurgling pool of blood from the Ouroborous. It says, beyond the grasp of those on this world. And there's like an alcove. It's empty.
Oh.
Does a life bubble prevent the goo from touching you?
It might.
Because it creates a 1-inch shell of tolerable living conditions.
Yep.
Even underwater, vacuum.
I would say if you're trying to pick the stuff up, though, you're kind of pushing against it. But
I'm thinking about sticking my face in there. Like,
it's just an empty alcove, kind of like this at
what
the
do you wanna
bottom of the
see?
spiral.
the see invisibility.
Okay, you focus. You see that there's this mole just sitting there, floating in the air, right in the alcove. Only those that could see invisibility could see it as it's sitting on the ethereal plane.
Well, Lemmy's got invisibility perch.
That doesn't do this.
Okay, so let me cast invisibility purge. Nothing happens.
I had it running before.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Yeah.
There. How do I?
It's a maul. It seems to be made out of iron. A maul is kind of like the bastard sword equivalent of hammers. It can be wielded two-handed, and with a feat you can wield it one-handed.
Nice.
Lemmy, bear's endurance, and huge elemental earth, then goes ethereal.
How does Lemmy go ethereal?
I have spell ethereal jaunt.
Okay.
And I go in, grab it, and bring it back to Ukher.
Okay, so you turn into a massive elemental.
I don't touch the crap.
You don't touch the ground. You cast a spell, go ethereal jaunt. Yeah, the hammer is in the ethereal. You can see it.
And I cast bull strength because I don't know how strong this thing, how heavy this thing is.
You already have it on you.
Oh, okay.
Massive.
So, 22 strength. Can I pick it up?
Okay, so you pick it up. Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that. Fuck it, let's do it.
Give me a will save.
Will save. I give you a will save. Well, Lemmy's will save is not
His
bad.
Youth and recklessness.
Lemmy's will save is not bad, sir. Is this a fear, despair, or illusion?
Don't piss off your god.
39.
Okay, you are not a chaotic creature. Your alignment does not change to chaotic good.
Oh, look at all my power
But
stopped.
you feel like all these strange thoughts of like, you know, your devotion and like this desire just to go free-willed, and maybe Remy is right and just kind of free and go where you want and screw connection to your god kind of thing. Like just all these like early
getting out of the ethereal,
early thoughts.
giving him the goddamn hammer.
Okay, you're handing it over as you jaunt out of the ethereal.
Oh, your life is crazy. I don't know how your mind works.
Ukher grabs a hammer.
Ukher grabs them all. Oh! You have one of the implements of your king, your ancient king that conquered nations and created his own. As a bunch of weird kind of flashes of his youthful memory, riding around in great hordes of horsemen, battling this horrible beast of earth and death. Ukher already has a legendary item that he is bonded with.
Too.
Yep. However, if you could move one more step chaotic, you would.
I'm already there, baby. They don't have what's the stupid vial, and they don't have like.
Oh, they don't have their own like total anarchic kind of thing.
Yeah,
you might be like, you feel ultimate freedom when you're here, just the freedom of a whole life ahead of you.
Whew.
Let's get out of here.
You don't know what the hammer does. You might need a legend lore for that. But you feel the strength of Gesar when you hold it.
Stonecloak Ukher?
It's time to show it off. It makes you ready to go.
Yeah, Lemmy's gonna get out of the earth through the other side and
Okay.
let Ukher do his thing. Yeah, I'm not exiting through the Ukher. I'll just leave through the walls.
Okay. Ukher, how are you? Dual-wield hammers.
I'm dual-wielding hammers. Warhammer in one hand,
Maul in the
Maul
other.
in the other. Ukher climbs up.
Fuck shit up in both.
Ukher climbs up the stairs.
There he is! One of them yells in Gesarian, which is close enough to... It's sort of close, but you could tell when people are pointing. The great herd stops, and everyone's standing there, just dust and wind and snow.
Hold the hammers up in a big axe.
Answer is...
About a third of the centaurs are now bowing. Like they're
Ukher's
actually like tilting their heads, and their front ends are kind of like bending
Ukher's
down
going
to
to
the earth.
airwalk to the top of the pit,
Yep.
and it's going to spend a mythic point to turn huge.
Okay. Using the power of Jotungraner.
Using power of Jotungraner. Come on, Thor. You give me this one.
You notice that some of the centaurs are fleeing. Like there are some that maybe this is too much for them, while others are standing there agape, and a bunch of them are bowing, including Summer Moon and Sky Hunter. Tyrus Ironmane just simply stiffens with pride.
We will be free!
About a third of the centaurs are convinced that Gesar has returned, and Gesar's new name is Ukher. Others maybe are not so sure. But they all know that they've witnessed something great here this day. Something great and terrible. The death of the Ouroborous, unfathomable. And the recollection of the weapon of chaos. The freedom-loving spirit of an emperor who decided to cast that aside so he may rule over his people.
As you stop looking at me like that.
As you could see his eyes simple slits, suspicious of all this talk of freedom that as he feels he will never have.
Don't be jealous, bruh.
It's 'cause you're a real suck.
All that also means that the bow might be able to get my alignment back to good.
Maybe there was a reason that the wise old man said you were not ready to go and confront your spirit.
Maybe because I'm a bit of a dick.
As the blood of Fenris runs through your veins, pulling you towards the awfulest of all alignments.
Chaotic evil. It's not a good time.
Perhaps these items and the spirit of Gesar can help you, Ukher.
The stairs are rumbling. In a few moments, it's going to be... Oh, there it is.
All right, I think this is a good place to leave it. What do you want to call this this particular adventure? Which is basically where you declared war on
we declared war, we cleared the knots, we got the hammer, we killed Ouroborous. Too much shit in one session. Session's name?
Tea time with the Serpent Lord.
Any ideas from the chat?
Yeah, we can't get a good one for this. Because all the events...
Because it's like the hammer of Gesar at where I am in sleep.
Gesar, part 1?
Yeah, I missed Chaotic Good Ukher.
It's Chaotic Ukher.
It's an interesting arc that Ukher is on.
Nice guy, Ukher. Oh.
Alright, 66 would be called...
How
a real king fights. Yes, thank you, randomly.
Yeah, there we go.
That was how a real king fights.
All right, I'm being beaten with a bottle and
because
pinched.
there are at least 3 people in the party that are conceived as kings in some way. At least that's awesome. Okay, I will figure out some XP. I think a mythic trial has been achieved by those that fought the Ouroborous and collected the hammer. So I will do that figuring and do some XP offline. Shout out to all those that joined us today. If I miss you, sorry, but Foxfire, Fagwent, Randomly Werewolf, Strass, Sir Thomason, we saw some others. It was a good night, and thanks for hanging out with us. Oh, they left the chat. So unceremonious. Thanks, guys. All right, cool. I hope you guys enjoy this as much as we do. Peace. Good night.